So this is a tutorial I've been meaning to make for literally years now, but this is going to be a tutorial on how to use the Clover pom-pom maker. Now this isn't the only size, this is just the one that I personally use the most. They make all different ones. I think there's 6 total. There's like one package I didn't bother buying because I didn't think I'd ever realistically use it, but there's a package of large ones. This is where my little green one goes. There's this larger one that I have honestly never once used in the like 6 years I've owned this. And then these smaller ones, which are really itty bitty bitty. I've only used these a couple of times, but most people honestly more frequently use these guys. Just for my purposes, I use this one for the pom-poms on hats, but you could use this one or the blue one for that, depending on the size of the pom-pom you want to make. Now, it's a very intricate thing, and there's many other brands that make very comparable and similar products. Some of them work a little bit differently, but they all have the same general gist of it. You can also make your own out of cardboard, but I'm gonna level with you, I never had great luck with that, especially for the number of things I make with this size of pom-pom. They didn't hold up long term. I was constantly breaking them like every week. It was cheaper for me to just buy the legit thing than keep wasting cardboard. So anyway, so this is an interesting little device. It opens up 2 ways. Like, one way, it comes apart like this. So don't be alarmed if you take it out of the package and it like falls apart. It's supposed to do that. It is absolutely supposed to do that, and we're going to get to why later. But the arms on it also swing open like this, and you can, yeah. It's interesting. And when you've never used it, you're probably looking at this like, what in the hell? How is this going to create a pom-pom? Well, I'm going to show you. So you're going to need your yarn that you're going to make the pom-pom out of. I'm using a chunky yarn just because it shows up easier on camera, a pair of scissors, and then also a length of the same yarn that you're going to want to tie the pom-pom with. And depending on if you're sewing the pom-pom onto something or if you're just making a pom-pom in and of itself will determine the length of yarn you need. I always have mine sewn onto a thing, so I have a long length of it that I tie mine with. But if you're just making a pom-pom just as its own standalone thing, you can use a much shorter length than I'm going to use. Now, what you do, you're going to open up your pom-pom maker just like this. And then you're going to take your yarn. Where is the end of it? Here we go. And you're going to tie it around one end of it. I'll show you as soon as I have my little knot made, since I can't aim the camera and do this at the same time. So it doesn't really matter how you make that knot, just any old thing, just so it'll stay in place. And now you're going to make sure these 2 arms are lined up with each other, and then you're going to take your tail of your yarn and just wrap and wrap and wrap as evenly as you can, basically, all around this thing. And you're not going to just cover it the one time or you're going to have a very skinny pom-pom. I mean, you can make them as skinny or as fat as you want, but I like a nice full fat pom-pom myself. I don't know about you, that's just me. But yeah, so you're just going to go across it, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And do it fairly tightly if you can. And it's time consuming as all get out, but you will get it done. And the results are so much easier this method than most other methods I've tried of making pom-poms, because I've tried with this thing, I've tried the cardboard method, I've tried the method on a fork. There's different ways. Oh, I've done the one that involves using the legs of a chair. This to me is the easiest and quickest way that tends to get the best results. So this is the one I personally go with. You may have better results with something else, but this for me is like my silver bullet solution for pom-pom making. Okay, so almost got mine about evenly distributed to how thick I'm gonna want it. Alright, so you can see it is nice and full. Like you see that under arch, it's nice and full. So you're gonna pull it between the 2 legs here and swing that side shut. And then you're gonna turn it like this. You're gonna take that yarn, pull it around here, and you're gonna do the same thing on this side now. And it's a little fiddly just getting it started on the other side, but once you get going, it's just as easy as the first. And keep a good grip with your other hand on the middle part to make sure it does not fall apart, or you will be starting over. Ask me how I know. It shouldn't, because the yarn wrapped around the one side should more or less hold it in place at this point, but when we get to the part where we're snipping through it, that's where you need to make sure you have a good grip, or all of this will be for nothing. Your yarn will go to waste, and you will have to do it again. I have had it happen about 3 times in the 6 years that I've been using the Clover pom-pom maker. All together, that's not too terrible a track record, given that I had it happen all the damn time with the cardboard method, so just saying. It is something to be mindful of when you're using it, and I speak from experience on that. I have no problem owning up to that. That's why I throw it out there as a precaution of, here's a lesson I learned from using it and by making mistakes with it. So here's how you cannot make that same exact mistake, which is very easily avoidable. Okay, we're almost done here, and if it gets caught up on the little upper legs here, you just shove it down with your finger and snug it up with the tail, and it'll be fine. And if it's not perfectly even, that's okay. You'll be able to even it up when you have it all cut. You'll just give your pom-pom a little haircut. Sometimes they need it more than others. Just depends on how evenly you got it wrapped. About right here, I think. Okay. So again, pull between the 2 legs and close it. And I don't know what I did with... There they are. Okay, I was like, where are my scissors? So you're gonna cut this as close down to the device as you can. Just like that. I would recommend using more craft scissors, but I forgot to bring mine over here, so I'm just using regular scissors here. Now you're going to take a nice length of yarn if you're going to sew it onto something. I take more than I need because I'd rather have leftovers that I didn't need than run out and have not had enough. I have had both happen. I know which side of the line I care to err on, so... Alright. This next bit you're going to want to do over a garbage can, so let me go reposition my camera, and I'll show you what to do next and how to turn this into a pom-pom. Stay tuned. Hey guys, excuse my garbage can, it's luckily not too gross, but yeah, got my right scissors now, and now you're going to turn it to the side. Yeah, make sure that the legs are closed as good as you can this way. And you're going to slip the blade of your scissors in right here, in between these 2 arms, and make sure it goes under the yarn, and just start snipping. And keep a good grip on the pom-pom maker, or it may separate and you'll lose all your work. So you're going to go. But do this over a trash can, because otherwise you will get fluff everywhere on everything you love. Again, I speak from experience, so learn from my mistakes. Careful not to cut your fingers either. I have also managed to do that. Yeah, I didn't get as thick on this side, as we can probably already tell, but that's alright. That is alright. You'll just pick which side will be the top of your pom-pom and which side will be sewn towards the fabric. That is alright. Now, we've gone through everything. Actually, there's one little bit here. Let's see if I can get it. Get it off there. Just boop. Boop. Okay. Now, this is where your length of yarn is going to come in handy. Try to center it as best you can and get it in here, and you're gonna give it a tug, and then you're gonna do a little knot here. I'm trying to do it one-handed on camera, and it's not easy. Usually I have a counter handy to do this on, but since I don't, we're doing it the hard way, guys. Okay, then I like to flip it. I like to do it 3 or 4 times to make sure those little fringies are not going to go anywhere. But that's just my own personal opinion. I'm just knotting it off camera. Don't mind me. I have it resting on my leg. Let's see if I can just turn the camera so I'm not completely... Okay. So we have it on that side, so we're going to come to this side. It's still not aimed really great. I'm so sorry. There. Okay, that should work better, as long as I don't knock it out of focus again. Okay. This is 3. I'm OCD about the number 4, so I tend to go with 4. And just give it a tug as tight as you can. Okay, here comes 4. Okay, now, you should have 2 tails hanging from it. I'm going to turn this back the other way and get my trash can back. Now, here's where it coming apart is going to come in handy. Carefully wiggle it apart. And there will be loose pieces, and that's okay. Oh, missed the trash can. Okay. And the other side. And that is why it comes apart that way, ladies and gentlemen. Now, grab the tails yarn and shake the shit out of it over your trash can. And you'll notice there's a few pieces sticking up, and you just give it a little haircut. Just like that. And if you want to be more perfectly round, you can shape it with your scissors as much or as little as you like. I would just say to be a little bit conservative in doing this, because it will be in your nature to want to cut more of it than is actually needed. Again, I have definitely made that mistake as well, where it started out one size and I chopped down about half of it because I was so OCD about wanting it to be perfectly round. At this point, I have found that, you know, it gives it more character if it's a teeny bit shaggy. I mean, you still want it to be mostly round. Like, this is mostly round. There's a few spots on it still sticking out that I'm probably gonna go back and attack off camera, but in general, this is the gist of it, and that is how you do it. And then, you know, there is your pom-pom. If you wanted a shorter length of it, and you just wanted a standalone pom-pom, feel free to just snip off those tails there. But if you're like me and you're going to sew it onto a garment or a hat or something, leave those tails there, because it's those tails that you are going to sew onto the hat or whatever else you're going to sew it onto. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. It's very easy to use. It may seem daunting at first, but I swear it's super duper easy, and you will not regret the $6 or so to buy the Clover pom-pom maker. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give this video a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Any questions or anything, I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. Make sure you follow my social media accounts. They're all listed down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel, my donation link is down in the description. So anyway, guys, till next time.